attack, fast fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and packs. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here. And well, whenever we last left off, we had what happened last time. Midoriya performed the pencil trick. Now, after doing that, he was able to get the information and help the crime family of Russia take down this organization that is organizing against them. Afterwards, Midoriya, he was rewarded handsomely and given a marker. Now, for those of you who are confused, the markers are the blood oath signs. You yourself have one marker. If you give someone your marker as a favor, they can call in that favor at any time. And the daughter of the man Midoriya helped. She herself gave Midoriya her marker, since by the time that Midoriya may call it in, she would be in charge, and her father's marker one day might be null and void upon his death. Now, with that being said, Midoriya did head home, and upon arriving at the Continental, surprise, it is his birthday. His 9th birthday to be exact. And people are actually celebrating it, and showing him a good time. Upon Midoriya's return, he walks into the Continental, gets surprised, and is simply told by Isla, his mother, or Miss Carter, to simply go turn in the bounty and then go upstairs. Take a shower, change, and come back down. Then they can at least see what's going on for his birthday. Midoriya doing so. Whenever he does run over and turn in the bounty, you do have what the woman does have to give him. She has to give him roughly about, let's say, $652,000 in gold. And whenever she does give this to Midoriya, she actually does have to somewhat put it into, well, a case. It is small, but it is still pretty big for an amount of gold that large. Now, Midoriya, he takes the box and simply just runs into the elevator. As soon as he gets in, he heads into his room and takes a shower, coming back down to see exactly what is going on. There are quite a lot of people here. And surprise, surprise. As the day does continue on and pass by, more and more people from his former training begin to arrive and see him. Midoriya meeting up with them and talking with some of them, learning about exactly what is going on. Now, upon talking with them and basically hanging out with them for the day, he does actually hear a bit more about it. Everyone is surprised that his mother is, well, she goes by a nickname. I have not thought of something clever. However, I was thinking about the Mistress of Death, or Lady Death. Something upon that line. That way I can call Midoriya the Son of Death. And or, well, crap, the other one was really good. Anyways, now, with that being said, Midoriya, after him and everyone do talk, have fun, and actually go out to a place, you do have what Miss Carter did do for Midoriya. Instead of simply, well, going to a regular place, they rented out an entire amusement park. And the place does have a lot of attractions. Midoriya and all the other kids running around the entire park, and having quite a lot of fun. A lot of kids are talking about how they want to go on this ride. They want to go on this one. And they all do begin to have fun. Now, while that is going on, you have Miss Carter and a lot of the other people here. They are all talking about different contracts they have been taking on, and certain situations that their disciples have been put in. Now, with that being said, after about an hour of going on different rides, we do have Midoriya currently in the go-karts. Midoriya is having fun and driving around, smashing into different people's carts and actually racing around with them. Now, after the exhausting birthday, you do have the cutting of the cake. Now, Midoriya does blow out his candles and cuts his cake. And you do have the conversation that follows whenever everyone is sitting there eating. A lot of people asking Midoriya about his last mission. Midoriya stating that it was actually his 100th. Whoa, really? Yup. Wait, so does that mean that you're in the triple digits now? Mm-hmm. So what about you guys? I don't know. Well, I'm actually coming up on my 86th. Yup, actually, funny you're mentioning it, I'm on 77. 68 right here, 52, 47, and as you go down the table, you do have lower numbers, followed by some higher numbers. And apparently, Midoriya is the only one who's gone above 80. Now, Midoriya begins to talk about what he did. People, they don't really believe Midoriya. And they begin to understand what he's talking about. He was supposed to interrogate a couple men and learn information. Once he starts going into the idea that, hey, I used a pencil to kill them all, people don't buy it. They knew Midoriya as ruthless and cunning, but that straight up just sounds surprisingly barbaric. That sounds like something Midoriya, well, he could do. However, he'd use something different. He'd probably use like a steel pin, probably some piano wire, or other sharp objects, probably even a box cutter. Or, if you wanted to, crap, what's a very clever thing? I was gonna say he'd probably use like what? A wet rag that he soaked in alcohol and a lighter and stuff it into someone's mouth and light it. I was trying to go for cleverness, but that actually does sound horrific now I'm thinking about it. Anyways, now, some people are skeptical to believe Midoriya. And some of the adults hearing about that, they're quite surprised. That being where Midoriya, he actually does proudly state that actually you also do have something else. He got this from the actual woman whose life he saved. Apparently she's going to inherit the family. Midoriya pulling out and holding up the marker, saying that he also did actually prove himself to them, so they owe him a favor. Now, as soon as Midoriya does hold it up, all the adults over there do actually turn and see Midoriya, holding up a marker. This being where you do have Miss Carter, walking over and telling her son to simply put that back in his pocket, or to hand it over to her. He doesn't want to lose that. Mom, I won't lose it. Everyone looking at Miss Carter. Wait, did he just say mom? Now, Miss Carter goes on stating that Midoriya, if he loses that, he will not get another one. In fact, markers are very important for a reason. You have yet to create your very own marker, and the fact that you already have one simply just proves how well your training has gone. Now, if you lose that, you lose, well, a potential favor in your future. So just keep that in mind. Those things are better than cash in some occasions. Really? Midoriya just looking at it. It's basically just a silver locket with a red thumbprint. That's all he sees. Rarer than gold and better than cash. He likes the sound of that. And he does begin to think. So, if he ever does need a favor of any kind, he can turn it in. Okay. Midoriya handing it over to her, and simply just having her leave. Now, after that is all said and done, Midoriya does actually go over some of the gifts he got from his friends and or fellow assassins. Some kids didn't know what to get Midoriya, so they got him cash. Or in this case, gold. Other kids, they tried to be nice. One kid decided that Midoriya, he might like the weapon. Or he might like this handgun. And they actually did get him a few different things. One kid got Midoriya an M1 Garand, while another kid got him a .45 Colt. Another kid got him a 9mm Beretta, a 44 Magnum, and what is it, an M16, an AR-15, an AR-10. I think I might be confusing people, so I'm just going to stop there. Anyways, now, Midoriya does actually go over some of his new weaponry, and he is quite happy with it. Now, Midoriya, he actually does look over the 45 and inspect it a bit. It's clean, and it's a solid weight. Even in his hand, this is a cool gun. And whenever he actually does pull backwards on it, you do have what he sees. The internal workings of the gun. It shouldn't be that bad. So, Midoriya actually does head back up to his room. And you do have Miss Carter, who, once she gets back up there too, she does actually put Midoriya's marker into a secure place. Now, with that being said, Midoriya had one hell of a birthday. An amusement park, and guns. What more could a kid ask for? Anyways. Now. Okay, that was actually longer than I thought. With that being said, Midoriya, he actually does wake up the next day. And upon waking up, you do have what he's going to do. He's going to go through morning routine. Rolling out of bed and simply beginning to do something. He begins to read and actually try and talk. Midoriya, he woke up a bit early. Right now, he is currently reading and talking into a different language. Midoriya is trying to perfect his skills and get them up to date and actually polished, so as to at least sound fluent in it. Now, along with that, after Midoriya does do that for an hour, he does get changed and actually dressed. After that, Miss Carter, she actually did wake up. Midoriya and her, they do head down to a training center, or at least a training room they have in the facility. Or the Continental, my bad. And they do actually begin to spar and train off. Now, Miss Carter, she begins to talk with Midoriya about his birthday. Did he like his gifts? Midoriya saying yes. And rushing at Miss Carter. Her quickly going on the defensive. Now, she just begins to use Jujutsu and goes on the defensive that way, before trying to switch it up with Midoriya. She knows that he at least knows this martial arts, if she's correct, and she begins to try and go for Judo. Now, with that being said, Midoriya can see what she's doing. She's going for tactics, and if he's right, Midoriya going on his offensive, going for a different, attack. Midoriya just begins to attack with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I cannot talk. And she does try and go for offense, trying to actually attack him. Midoriya actually being able to smack her arms away and actually try and match her for a second. Now, Midoriya, he actually does lose whenever Miss Carter does get more serious. And actually knock him over. As soon as that has happened, she informs Midoriya that that was a very good try. And he is actually getting a lot more, fluid in his movements. Now, Midoriya, instead of gritting his teeth and getting angry, he actually does try and stand onto the mat, get back up, and say thank you. Your temper seems to have gone down. Hey, it's not my fault. Besides, as far as I knew, I would stay in that place forever. Yes, staying in one little place. It is not good. You thought that you would stay in that orphanage. In fact, I do have something to inform you about. Whenever I first went there and found you, do you want to know what that woman in charge said? Oh, you mean... Fuck. What was her name? Midoriya. Or Izuku. Language. Sorry. Jeez. I can cut a man's throat, but I can't say the F word? Professionals have standards, young man. Okay, you know what? I'm not even going to try and argue with that. Now, Midoriya, he simply just asked her, was it mother, then her last name? The woman saying that she believes so. The woman simply stated that whenever Izuku was there, she thought that you would stay there forever, until she would be able to legally kick you out of the orphanage. Especially since you were just taking up room. Now, Midoriya, he actually does get a bit angry at that, asking exactly what does that have to do with anything? Is that why you picked me? What? Oh no. Actually, I think it may have influenced my decision. But even then, there was that look, that rage, and I could see it. You were going to be a force of nature. You were going to be a very, very dangerous man. A very dangerous person. Even without me intervening. Well, I believe that you would have turned into something else. So, I can tell you one thing. I am glad I found you. In fact, I'm actually quite proud to call you my son. Now, Midoriya, he's genuinely shocked by that. Miss Carter actually thinks of him as her son. Not just by legal name, but by actual, emotional bond. Now, Midoriya, he actually does somewhat tear up, and he does turn around and try and hide them. Miss Carter informing him that it is quite alright, and that it is perfectly healthy for a boy to cry. Midoriya, somewhat getting angry, and saying that he's not crying. He just got something stuck in his eye is all. Oh, alright, well, do tell me whenever you got it unstuck. Meanwhile, I'm going to go take a shower. Then, I believe, as she does stretch, saying that they can find another mission. Really? So soon? Well, are you saying no to that proposition? No. It's just, I figured you'd want to relax. Well, Izuku, I'm the top assassin. For a very important reason. I usually don't relax myself. And from what I've heard, you yourself are going to become a legend among your friends. And that's good. In fact, I heard what they were talking about. A lot of them didn't believe you about the whole pencil thing. That's fine. Just give them some time. What are you talking about? Well, you're forgetting one thing. We are assassins, and our work is not public. The only ones who know about us are the ones in the underworld. And people usually do not keep their mouths shut. So, stories begin to be made up or told about the true missions and things that we have done before. In fact, just as you stated, you killed 3 men with a pencil. You know how it actually went down. The people who saw it, they know exactly how it went down. As they tell that story, someone will change something about it. At one point, it's a pencil. At another, it's a pen. And in another depiction, you beat the men with a gun, without any bullets, or 2 or 3 in the chamber. Or, well, depending on the model type. Or you quite simply just use your bare hands and smash their skulls in. Or you use the bat. Across everyone's single journey, and or at least depiction of a story, things change. And that's what makes a rumor. So, I do hope you understand. The more that you perform, and the more things you do, the more people are going to look up to you. Now, what do you say about that mission? Are you ready? Well, maybe. Only if I get to pick it, though. Alright. Well, consider it a late birthday present then. Alright. Well, I guess I'll just go get breakfast then. Alright, you do that. Miss Carter walking away. Well, Izuku, he does actually go to look into his bag. And he does actually pull out a gold coin. And head over to a dining room area. Now, once he does sit down and actually begin to look at the menu, he does actually order something. As soon as he does, he eats his breakfast. After a little bit of time passes, he then heads up to the room, hops in the shower himself, after Miss Carter, hops out and changes. And he then goes over to the area he needs to be at. Miss Carter waiting for him. And he does actually begin to look at the board, seeing exactly where their mission can take them this time. And surprise, surprise, you do have a few of these numbers and areas. There is a place in America they can go to. there is a place here in Japan. There is a place somewhere back in Russia. There's one in France, Italy, you name it. There is at least 3 or 4 bounties for each country. And Midori does actually try and look at the higher numbers before doing one thing. He just thinks, let's see. Closing his eyes and just bringing his finger up, putting it down, and then moving it up and down as fast as he can, before opening his eyes and just pressing his finger down, tapping on one place, then tapping on another, and flipping a coin. Now, with that being said, Midoriya heads to France. And the bounty they're going after is worth $250,000. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.